sure that Peter has some thoughts, but I want to say something. I don't know if I'm sure. I think you have some thoughts, but I want to say something before I give it to Peter. So they are scientifically here, I will kind of break it down. So there is, you are with people, and there's this fear, shame, fear, considering, yeah? To me, as clinically, this to me alludes like group wound. This is a group wound. Sometime you were in a group. This happens often, like you are with the kids at school, or you are somewhere where a group and being shamed, ridiculed, made fun of, teased off. And this is like stays forever until one is deprogramming that. So it's like a little in the system, something that's not safe to be myself in a group, you know? And from one angle, coming to a group here and being yourself, this is healing. But to me, that I would go and process some group wound or something stored in your body. I would do that more like processing. But anyway, so in the moment there was that, which is trauma energy activated, connected to being in a group. But yeah, that took the form of inner considering, yeah, that shut you down. Then second is that after it passed or during, there's an additional player that is now judging you, right? Yeah. So you need to learn to know about the first one and to be compassionate with yourself with that, and let it happen. It will already be much wonderful that you have that, and then you still shut down and all that, and then you're like, oh wow, this comes up again. Okay, well, but no, oh, what's you have 48 and this or that, and how can you, so already that would be nice. But anyway, that you have two things to look at. These are all pretending to be you, they are not you. And keep it simple with, hey, I don't know what is the I that is supporting the work, and keep it simple. It was too complicated. Keep it simple, like, hey, to observe this and let it be as it is. That's it. Doesn't matter who is doing it, what I is it. You are aware of this unpleasantness, and you accept what the present brings. Yeah, it's here. You can't change it. If you want to get rid of it, it's going to get more weird. So it's here. It's unpleasant. So master as much aware being that you can to let it be and don't fight it. That's the way to go. Observe it, let go, try and change it. When thoughts of beating yourself up come, try to like, no. Also, so that part of us, talking about that, there's the part in you, there's the fixer. You see a problem and you go to fix it because I'm unlovable until I fix it. That's a false personality, sub-identity. And then we're talking about to bring the work personality, or the part of us that is interested in the work. You are doing it now. You're developing that by having conscious attitudes. Conscious attitude meaning, hey, I don't want to beat myself up anymore, man. The fuck, it's already painful as it is. My plan is to just observe it, and I'm okay. See, so that's a conscious, it's a better attitude, and so then you observe that. Yeah. But so I, again, like with Maya, I will do both to catch it in the moment, but I detect pus in the subconscious around that, that fuels that. So there's some way we can process some group trauma or something, and then next time you're in a group, it will be less charged, but I will do both.
Is it possible for the groups to be family? Or is it usually?
Well, I think so. I think the first group was the family, and probably I mean, either happen in the family or at school or in other collectives.
I think for me, it happened in the family, and it just got reinforced.
Yeah,
Sometimes. You know,
yeah. Yeah, for me, I go in the family, I will like go and like I'm quiet. Now my father died, so there's no family, but I will go there and I don't know, I'll just fall into this setting of quiet, a little uncomfortable. I have nothing to say, guarded. That's some kind of shut down, vigilant, checking what's happening, trying to stay out of trouble, like 7-year-old boy, you know? Yeah. You have some thoughts, Peter? For Ryan? Or anything at all?
Well, it was in, I do have thoughts. They're not answers. I'm not trying to provide answers, just to be clear. But perceptions I had, one is observe, observe, observe.
Can you say that again?
Observe, observe, observe. Because what I was listening to Ryan and also listening to Maya, the similarity I thought is both of those descriptions of what was being experienced were completely internal. And this is how it is with us. We are fighting this seeming battle just only with ourselves inside of our head, inside of our body. And Ryan's example in particular, no one knew what was going on. It was such a good experience, I think, in that regard. No one knew what was going on in your mind. And for you, it was quite vivid and three-dimensional and a lot of things, yes? And we've all been there. And yet it's completely in our head. This is, to me, this is quite interesting. Has nothing to do with the external reality in which we find ourselves. We have fashioned a relationship to it, a sense of ourselves in relationship to our world. And then we operate from that, rather than actually operating in relation to the people and the situation in front of, outside of us. And I don't have a solution for that to offer, but simply to keep noticing that. Observe, observe, observe. And Maya's, she mentioned, she was mentioning tobacco and looping thoughts. Same thing. It's a battle going on inside, and it's and related to this, that my final piece of this thought, if you want to call it that, is that there is a solution, and that it comes usually in the form of a realization. But until you come to the realization, you can't force it. You can't go hunting for it. It comes from clear, very clear observation. This is my experience. And that's why I say observe, observe, observe. Mihai mentioned earlier, we get so impatient and we want to fix it. And we need to observe that too, as Mihai's been pointing out. We have to also observe that urge in us to fix it, to make it better, to make ourselves better. And you know, it just gets more and more and more detail that we see in ourselves when we do this. Just keep observing and do our utmost to not get identified with what we see. That's the other part of this that's equally challenging, if not more challenging. And I also want to say I very much appreciate, I applaud you, Ryan, for being so honest. Yes, it's fresh air.